Okay, let's jump to the hate list, and it saddens me greatly. Chubby sadness to see the Chubbler, the original Chubbler, Nick Chubb, headlining the hate list, Matthew.
Yeah, it's just
Explain yourself.
Well, look, I think we just have some uncertainty about this Texans backfield. Is it going to be Nick Chubb that really gets all the work, or will Dameon Pierce work in as well? Woody Marks or Dario Ngumbawale on third down? Could it be more of a committee here? The last time we saw Nick Chubb, he hasn't looked great, right? The 8 games he returned from knee injury, he had under 60 rushing yards in 6 of them. I'm sorry, in all 8 of them, actually. And just, the Rams have pretty good run defense when they're not facing the Eagles. The Rams allowed running back rushing touchdowns at the 6th lowest rate last season. So it's a pretty good run defense. There's a lot of uncertainty about how this backfield works out. There's not that many injuries in week 1, so I'm nervous about Nick Chubb's workload in week 1. I want to see it first. And see what that workload looks like. So based on both the matchup and the uncertainty about his share of the workload, he makes the hate list this week.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't mind, and I don't like to speak about Nick Chubb like this because he is a legend. We hope that he does, fulfill his comeback and really takes control of that role in the Browns' backfield. But I do like his longest rush, under 11.5 rushing yards. Lawrence, not sure he's going to break one.
Well, I don't know. Did he have one of them last year? And I ain't even trying, like you said, Nick Chubb, when he was healthy, was one of them dudes. So.
He didn't have a single 20-yard rush last year, so he didn't break it.
Yeah, and so that's the reason, right? That's the reason that prop is so low, and it's going to be tough. Again, what does this Texans line do? What does he do himself? The running game as a whole for the Texans is just there's a lot of questions with that, so it makes sense.
Yep. All right, let's jump to your guy on the hate list, Lawrence, and that is Bill Croskey-Merritt for Matthew's Commanders. Controversial.
Yeah, Mr. Bill here. The thing about Mr. Jacory Croskey-Merritt, affectionately known to the people on the internet as Bill. The thing about it, and Matthew alluded to it earlier, is Austin Ekeler. Not just Austin Ekeler, who's kind of being slept on at this point. You got Cris Rodriguez and even Jeremy McNichols up in there. This is a possible 4-man committee. Now, I don't care about him being listed 4th on the depth chart or anything like that, but he was number 1 on the depth chart only on the internet. You got a guy in Jeremy McNichols who had 15.5% of this team's running back carries last year. So once you muddy out of that first, you got to see what that looks like first. Then you have this Giants defensive front. Now, never mind the edge rushers who also defend the run, and guys like Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau. You got Dexter Lawrence. You got the rookie Darius Alexander, who's going to be making plays for them. So that Giants defensive front is going to be tough for any of these Commanders running backs. That's why I like Matthew's call for Austin Ekeler this week, because he could probably be catching a lot of passes. Gonna be tough to run for any Commanders running back, and that includes Bill, who the fantasy managers all around the world love, Matthew.
I agree with this call. I mean, you saw I have him ranked outside my top 30, Lawrence. I think his workload initially is in question. And so, again, this is week 1. Pretty much everyone is healthy. You don't have any bias to deal with. So I would be nervous about using Jacory Croskey-Merritt this week until we see, does he in fact have a significant role in this Commanders offense, or is it a 3-headed committee? I don't think we'll see a lot of Jeremy McNichols, but I do think you'll see more Cris Rodriguez than you want to if you spent a high draft pick on JCM. Ultimately, long-term, I like JCM. Eckler's going to have his role as well. I think those will be the 2 Commanders running backs you want. But here in week 1, I'd rather play it safe. I'd rather see it first before I put him into my lineup, unless I'm in a super deep league. So I agree with the call here, Lawrence, despite my love for him as a person and a player.
Okay, question from Michael on YouTube. Do you feel the rookie hype is out of control? RJ Harvey, Bill, Marion Hampton, are you going to suspect that Matthew's going to say it's not out of control, all potentially in timeshares, Matthew?
Yeah, I don't think it's out of control. I mean, I do think on some of these it is. I guess I should say, I don't think it's out of control on Marion Hampton because I'm the one leading that charge, right? I mean, he's my ride or die. And I don't really think he's going to be in a legit timeshare. I don't think it's going to be 50-50 Hampton and Najee Harris. I think it's going to be 70-30. Maybe it's 65-35. But Hampton is so explosive. And the Hampton argument wasn't about that he dominates touches in week 1. The Hampton argument is that he is the superior running back, and over the second half of the year, he's going to take this backfield over the way that Bucky Irving did last year in Tampa Bay. Obviously, they're different players, but I think it's going to be a similar situation. But yes, on Jacory Croskey-Merritt, I'm with you. You just heard Lawrence and I talk about him. And R.J. Harvey, I'm not the one leading that hype train. This show has been very consistent that J.K. Dobbins is the better value in drafts. That J.K. Dobbins, who's going 2, 3, sometimes 4 rounds after R.J. Harvey, is the starting running back of the Denver Broncos, will get the work on first and second down in the short yardage work. And maybe they use Harvey in the passing game, but Harvey has struggled with pass protection this preseason. If you can't block, you don't get on the field in a Sean Payton offense. So don't be shocked. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if Jaleel McLaughlin even plays more snaps than R.J. Harvey, depending on how the game script goes for Denver, because I know they do trust McLaughlin in pass protection on third down.
Yep. No, I'm with you there. I think there is a material chance that J.K. Dobbins just outproduces R.J. Harvey full stop, irrespective of ADP. J.K. Dobbins,
he was good last year. Before
he did his MCL against the Ravens last year, he was on pace for like 1,200 rushing yards and 10, 12 touchdowns.
He was a top 15 running back.
And now he's got an even better offensive line this year in Denver. My guy for the hate list, and we've talked about him a fair bit in the preseason, is James Cook. The obvious reason is just the touchdown regression is going to inevitably, well, not inevitably, but very likely hit him. He had 18 total touchdowns in the regular season last year. I suspect that the median outcome for that is more like half. And he has a brutal matchup against the Ravens in week 1. Lawrence, the Ravens, by success rate last year, they were the best rushing defense in the NFL. And James Cook played them twice last year. First time, 9 for 39 in that blowout loss in the regular season. Then even the playoff game, he got 17 carries, but only took them for 67 yards and no touchdowns.
And just to drive your point home, we know the Denver Broncos, they're top-tier defense in this league. He had a good game against them in the playoffs. He had a good game, over 80 yards rushing against the Chiefs in the playoffs, so 120 against the Broncos in the playoffs. So he's ran well against, good teams, but this Ravens defense, no, and it's been recent. His last his last game against the Ravens hasn't been where it's going to be a tough matchup for Jimmy.
Yep, set at 53.5 rushing yards on DraftKings.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.